Tiny, tiny blue, where are you? We need insight from you now. Paranormal's what you do. Tiny blue, it's supernatural detecting time now. Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome to another episode of Paranormal Anthropology with Dr. Cayln Conrad. Mwah. I don't remember if that's the intro. It's been a minute, and I apologize. Hi. Apparently she's just here to destroy things. No. I know, you hate when I say that word. But that being said, we're almost done with the Cayln Conrad videos. So I need to get my butt in gear with my own videos because I'm pretty much done with The Bachelors. And I know I've said that every time I've recorded one of these, but yeah, I know. But I'm a terrible student, apparently. So let's finish up Dr. Conrad's videos, and then I will get the rest of my, I think there's only going to be, I don't know how Cayln did this, doing my own videos now. Because the bachelor's degree was 5 classes, right? So I think Dr. Conrad padded his videos. I think he edited these things. Shock and awe. That being said, so I think what's going to end up happening with mine is I think we're going to end up with the intro video, which you guys have already seen, of my own PhD classes for my undergraduate degree. And then I think I'm going to do a second video, which is basically going to be the other 4 classes all kind of wrapped into one video, because the other 4 classes are basically just like, there's like self-help classes, honestly. And they've been interesting. But they've also been incredibly boring. And they're not worth having each one having their own video. I don't feel like making 5 videos about it. But the first class was much different than the other 4 classes have been. So I think now that I've wrapped up the 5th and final class, I haven't done the bachelor's degree exam yet, but I will do that probably when I get done here, to be honest with you guys. And yeah. Then we're done with the bachelor's degree, and then we're into our master's classes. That's right. There's no fancy titles for having your bachelor's degree. Unfortunately. There probably is, and they're archaic and we just don't use them anymore. But that being said, Dr. Cayln Conrad, we have done aliens, we have done cryptozoology, and now we are on to the most of the interestingest classes. There was a sentence there. This is the paranormal investigation class, which is day 7. Now, I suspect that day 8, 9, and possibly 10 of Dr. Conrad's original speedrun, which will be linked below in the description, I suspect those I will be able to just do all in one video, to be honest with you. Probably. I say that now, as I've now had a 4-minute ramble. But all that being said, thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You guys rock. Thank you to everybody who supported the GoFundMe and who are over on the Patreon. As I said, I'm terrible at this. I will get everything updated. I'm terrible at this. I will get everything updated. All of that being said, thank you guys for your support. And we're going to have a graduate party. We're going to have a bachelor's graduate party. I don't know what we're going to do just yet. Somebody suggested watching the Mermaids documentary. Sounds like fun. I never actually watched it when it came out, so it might be fun to sit down and like debunk it a little bit. Have a good time with that. I'm sure it'll get copywritten hidden. Yep, those words. All right, I am going to speed this up to time and a quarter. I do believe that's what I've watched all of this at. So it is a little bit faster than it would be if you normally went to go watch it. The original video is 3.5 hours long, give or take. So if you want to watch the whole video of the entire speed run, this is the extended version, no less, then you are welcome to follow the link in the description and go give the video a like. He's taking the doctor part off of their name. Sorry. I was informed that they prefer the they them pronouns, but it doesn't say Dr. Cayln Conrad anymore. It just says Cayln Conrad. Wah, wah, wah. I'm still calling them Dr. Cayln Conrad because it's funnier that way. All right. Anyway, so What else do I need to say to you guys before we get too far into this? I guess my point is we're wrapping up this, and then we'll only have me. It'll just be me. We'll just be concentrating on me. Oh, and this is a cooling ring because it's hotter than fuck in here with the lights, and we're rolling into the summer. So you'll be seeing a lot more of this. All right. If you guys like what my editor does, which my editor will be editing this video, so if you like the way my editor edits, watch the video all the way to the end, because that's how I afford my editor. Anyway, let's go. Paranormal investigations. Let's go.
You're missing something.
I forgot about that. It's been a minute. Okay, if you watch all of my videos in sequence, you won't notice the giant gaps in time, but I forgot that this had happened.
Missing something.
Missing something.
You're missing something. You're missing something.
But not the coffee.
I spent the morning haunted by my own terminally naggy brain. You're missing something.
That's an amazing. How do you do this? Like, I want to be better at filming things.
Girl, shut up! And as much as I wanted to drop everything and just spend the day trying to parse out what I was missing, more than that, I wanted this all to be done with. The morning hung heavy, my thoughts and...
I'm not going to lie. There was at least one class in the 4 after the initial intro class where I was just like, this class is dry. It is that one was hard to get through. That one was hard to get through. And it wasn't because it was difficult. It was just so dry. The material was just so dry.
gnawing at my synapses like rats in the walls. I wanted to toss the whole day aside, chase down whatever truth I was not privy to. But more than that, I just wanted this whole mess buried and gone, just like my great Aunt Carol.
Wah, wah. I did get my student ID. I need to get it printed off. It looks very lovely. It looks very nice. I'm not going to show it to you because it has my actual name on it, but maybe I can show it to you and have my name covered up. It looks really cute. But the way that they do it is they send you a PDF and you're supposed to take it to someplace like Staples and have them print it off and laminate it for you. So I'm probably just going to print it off. I'm probably just going to print it off on my own printer and just have it as a little piece of paper, because the chances of me actually using it as a student ID anywhere is very slim. Maybe I will do it once and film it just to watch people be like, we need like a real student ID. It is a real college, damn it. Anyway, I just saw I just saw their student ID and I was like, oh yeah, I have a student ID from this college, no less. By the way, I'm on the honor roll. Putting it out there. You have to try to not be on the honor roll, though.
So I resigned myself to sit down and just get the job done. Finish what I started.
Also, we have a trapper keeper. Is it upright? No, it's the wrong way. We have a trapper keeper for ours. Yeah. Wah. Ooh. Yeah, the nature of metaphysics and metaphysical self-mastery and metaphysical intercommunication. I made these. I made these for you. This is how much I care for you guys. I made these. Don't they look nice? And I do have like the classes themselves behind here. Yeah. Metaphysical principles of enhanced relationships. I'll talk about these when we get to them. They are very fancy names for not a lot. And then metaphysical critical thinking and self-direction. This is the final class. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like this one. I kind of dug this class. I did. Anyway, but they've got a binder. We have a trapper keeper. Stranger Things, which is backwards because I flipped my face. Look at the back of it, though. Isn't that cute? Anyhow. You're welcome.
Douglas sometimes lays it on heavy. Cloying almost.
Douglas is also known for me as Dr. K, because when I was in college, we pretty much referred to all of our professors by doctor and whatever the first initial of their last name was. I don't know why. It was cool it was cool, okay? We were cool kids when we were in college. Back in the 90s. in the early 2000s.
Complimenting the student and by extension, himself.
Being a paranormal investigator is a noble endeavor, as it shows that you are not satisfied with the status quo of accepting the world on other people's terms and with other people's beliefs.
No.
I haven't gotten to this class yet. These are all master classes. This is the cryptozoology and the aliens, and now this one. They're all the master level classes, and you have to do them in order, and they're all like the bottom level class. Like, so you have to do there's like more really boring classes leading up to these. And anyway.
Noble. That's a funny word for the act of thinking for yourself when what you thought for yourself was a 4-foot-tall giant alien squirrel.
Serious paranormal researchers don't do this for the money, the glory, or the fame.
Don't they, though? Don't they? Go tell that to Zach Bannigan.
They do it because that is who they are and what they do. It's in their blood. They can't quit because some deep part of them yearns for answers. Even though they may get discouraged at times, they realize the importance of what they do, even if the world ignores and demeans them. This
demeans them.
higher purpose fuels and nurtures their spirit.
Those damn alarm bells are ringing again. Same tune as always. Douglas isn't running a cult, but he's got the makings of a man who could. He's got a way about him, painting believers in the paranormal as champions of the unknown, truth chasers with the odds stacked against them, cast out by the world, spit on by polite society, underdogs with fire in their eyes. And whether he means to or not, he splits humanity in two. On one side, the ones who believe, on the other, the ones who don't. Sure, people are going to think you're silly, but what you're doing, it's in your blood.
In your blood. Your frozen blood.
Into every generation, a cryptozoologist is born, one person in all the world, a chosen one. They alone will wield the strength and skill to fight the skeptics, debunkers, and the forces of false science. Vampire slayers trade in stakes, sharp, simple, deadly. Paranormal investigators, they show up with a lot more, a whole arsenal packed tight in one overstuffed bag.
I'm not going to lie, I'm really excited for the paranormal investigator one. And also, a couple of you now have asked, I think it might be the same person asking twice, but a couple of you now have asked what you can enable me to do next. And it might be going back and getting the second degree, the second doctorate, because the paranormal investigation PhD is different. It's basically the same classes, though. So I want to finish this one, obviously, because according to Dr. K, you can apply for multiple PhDs if you would like, and effectively whatever classes you've already taken, so if you've completed one PhD, they eliminate those classes from your second PhD for obvious reasons. So like if I go back in for the paranormal investigation PhD, I don't have to take all of the bachelor classes over again. Thank God. Thank God. They're kind of dry. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's like taking your 101 classes when you actually go to college. I'm not going to lie. It really is. And some of the final questions are like, how is this class going to, how does this class going to affect or be useful to you in your PhD program going forward? And I'm just like, ugh, I hate this question. I took it because I had to. If I had an option, I wouldn't take this class. Anyway. But you know what? Part of college is learning how to bullshit your answers. And it seems like even going to Para-Anthropology college, you also still need to learn how to bullshit your answers.
EMF meters, microphones, spirit boards, cameras, thermometers, radios, tools of the trade for anyone tenacious enough to think they're peeling back the curtain, piercing the veil between this world and the next.
Ooh, have we already done the seance?
Professor says that haunted is just a way to describe a building or room frequented by a spirit, as in a haunted house, a completely novel concept. And these hauntings tend to begin or intensify during times of renovation or remodeling, maybe because the ghost is upset about the change in environment. New sound.
I missed that the first time. Should I slow them down? I feel like they're going a little fast, but oh well, you know what? We can do this. Let's go.
Occurring while you're ripping out your kitchen. If you lick it, it's ghost.
If you lick it, it's ghost.
To be fair.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the lick system.
After making my way through this course, I've come to the opinion that Douglas is under the belief that he follows the KISS principle, but is often following what I've coined as the lick principle. Let's ignore common knowledge.
So that's what lick stands for. I don't think it's perfect, but we're roughly where we were.
Of false science. Vampire slayers trade instincts. Sharp, simple, deadly. Paranormal investigators, they show up with a lot more, a whole arsenal packed tight in one overstuffed bag. EMF meters, microphones, spirit boards, cameras, thermometers, radios, tools of the trade for anyone tenacious enough to think they're peeling back the curtain, piercing the veil between this world and the next.
I can't wait to have all the gear. I don't know how I'm going to acquire all of the gear because none of it's cheap. Actually, I think I've seen on Amazon a few times like a paranormal investigator starter kit. Maybe I'll start there.
Professor says that haunted is just a way to describe a building or room frequented by a spirit, as in a haunted house, a completely novel concept. And these hauntings tend to begin or intensify during times of renovation or remodeling, maybe because the ghost is upset about the change in environment. New sounds occurring while you're ripping out your kitchen? If you lick it, it's ghosts.
Yeah, if you lick it, it's ghosts. Let's ignore common knowledge.
To be fair, sometimes it is ghosts, but that's in movies and on TV. In fact, it's precisely what happens in the classic episode of Are You Afraid of the Snark by Brona, but the classic episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark by Nickelodeon, but a ghost that's renting an apartment and doesn't like it much when living people try to furnish it. He says,
There's so many inside jokes here I don't get, but they're still funny. What was I going to say? Shoot. Oh, Stone Tapes. Stone Tapes is good. If you haven't seen the Stone Tapes, you should totally go see the Stone Tapes. But I think more maybe the video of the movie that maybe would be good was the one with Nicole Kidman in it. I think it was called The Others. It was like Nicole Kidman and her two kids who were like, they couldn't be exposed to sunlight for some reason. Anyway, there's a twist. There's a twist ending that I'm sure you have figured out by now if you haven't seen the movie. I'm not spoiling it for you. The movie's like over a decade old. It's probably closer to 20 years now. Anyway, the point is, Nicole Kidman and her two kids are actually the ghosts. And they think they're being haunted, but really it's people having seances who have bought the haunted house because she and her two kids are dead. I forget what happens exactly. I think it's a very sad, tragic story as to what happens to Nicole Kidman and the two kids. And I don't want to go too deep into that because it's going to depress the crap out of me. But anyway, the point is, it was a neat twist. It's worth watching once if you haven't seen it.
Is that when you're digging into a haunting, you better know what kind of spook show you're walking into. Sometimes it's residual. That's when something loud enough or tragic enough leaves a scar on the air like cigarette smoke in a closed room. It just lingers. You don't get conversation with those kinds of ghosts. They're just echoes stuck playing the same scene over and over like a scratched up record.
I think that's where I was getting Stone Tapes from. That one's a really old movie. I'm really not going to ruin that one for you. You should go watch that one. It's a lot of fun to watch. Jeb Card. I don't know why I continuously do that. Jeb talks about it. I'm a little ghost. I'm a ghost. Jeb talks about it in his book, Spooky Archaeology. And we will eventually get into supplemental materials as I get into my master's classes that aren't talking about self-improvement and how to put a schedule together. Wouldn't know anything about. Why? I don't need classes on that. Anyway, the point is, Jeb talks about it quite a bit. Good movie. You should go watch it. It's neat. It's an old, like I said, it's an older movie though.
But if the spirit starts taking on an interest in the living, moving things around, whispering your name, maybe even answering back, then
Tiny. If you watch it, they will come.
and you've got yourself an intelligent haunting. But how intelligent they are is actually up for debate. And that's when things start getting real personal.
Are there paranormal IQ tests for ghosts?
Intelligent hauntings involve spirits that interact with those alive in the flesh. They can communicate in a number of ways, such as audibly, through audio recordings or other instruments. They can also react to what you say or do.
This is the kind of ghosty you can ask for a sign. A rap on the wall for a yes, 2 for no. The answer comes and it's clear you're not alone. You're dealing with something that thinks, something that remembers being alive. A human spirit caught between here and the beyond.
Ooh, I don't have a lot to add, so I'm just interrupting cow.
That's not the whole story. Not every shadow was once a man. There's something else out there. Something that never wore skin. Something inhuman. Like a ghost.
Ooh, wait, what? Thought you were implying demons.
Inhuman entities never walk the earth as humans. In general usage, we will use the term intelligent haunting to refer to human spirits, and other terms such as inhuman spirit or malevolent inhuman spirit to describe inhuman spirits.
Okay, well, cut and dry.
Now, human spirits, well, You treat them as humans, because in their minds, they are. They're still walking and breathing.
Their little ghosty minds. Oh, that's something that we do learn in the first 4 classes, is the concept of the crap. Yep, we sure do. The mind outside of itself. Consciousness, separate consciousness. Anyway, there's a name for it. Go watch my video. I'm sure I go over it. Anyway, we do learn that idea, and that's how Dr. K explains, life after death experiences and also intelligent hauntings, human hauntings. It's because our consciousness actually resides outside of the shell. My body. And so the ghost, according to Dr. K, which module was that? I think it was the first one, honestly. So yeah, that's why, is because like the consciousness is the ghost. Like that's the thing that gets left behind to haunt, because it was never part of the body anyway. Don't think about it. Don't try to reason through that one.
Breathing and feeling just like the rest of us, according to them. Emotions, thoughts, memories, all still flickering in the dark. And when you go looking for them, Douglas says you don't call it a hunt. That's not the game we're playing. You call it a paranormal investigation or research. You don't hunt people. You research them.
I mean, you can hunt people. There is such a thing as a manhunt. Ask the FBI.
That's in a lab. Likewise, when it comes to spirits, when you talk about them or to them, you use the pronouns they used in life. That's respect. That's the rule.
Dr. K brings up this whole concept of, interacting with the intelligent haunting as if it were still alive. You're still using the same pronouns. You're still using the same terms that they would have used. Sabal, he's an archaeologist. He is an archaeologist. He does archaeology. But he also has this concept that he's been researching and kind of like putting out there for a while now of haunted archaeology, but not in the same way that Dr. April Besaw brought it up. Sabal wants you to reenact scenes or possible scenes from the ghost's past life. So if you're on for example, if you're at Gettysburg and you're trying to talk to spirits from Gettysburg, not that you need to go and reenact Gettysburg, but Sabal believes that having a reenactment or seance of sorts, or kind of like a reenacting seance where you and the crew are in garb that would be recognized by the spirit, using language that would be recognized by the spirit. You could even be, he's got a couple of his excavations, his paranormal excavations. He's recorded a few of them. We might go over some of them later if I can find them again, honestly. But it kind of looks like ghost hunting in costumes. And there's a theory. I mean, if we're gonna go with the assumption that ghosts are real and they can be communicated with, Sabal's theory stands that, if you want to get the ghost's attention, you need to act like the way the ghost remembers their life, which is kind of the same thing that Dr. K is saying here. I'm having an entire conversation about this as if it were a true and rational part of life. And if I pretend like it is, Sabal's points stand that, this is a missing part of the excavation. It is a missing part of archaeology. Now, if you go with Dr. Besaw, also an archaeologist, Dr. Besaw teaches historical archaeology, among other things, but the way that Dr. Besaw approaches historical archaeology is through a ghost hunt, using the research aspect of a ghost hunt as the historical archaeology aspect, because there's a lot of research that goes into archaeology before you ever even go put a shovel in the ground, or even go look at the ground that you might put the shovel into. Sometimes you don't even do that. But the point is there's a ton of research that goes into these things before you even get anywhere near the field. And teaching historical archaeology through that ghost hunting lens, it gets people interested in it. Everybody likes a good ghost story, right? But even though both Sabal and Besaw are both encouraging ghost hunting or the act of the ghost hunt. Sabal is coming at it from the aspect of he does believe that there are spirits that could be communicated with, and that communication could enhance your archaeological knowledge of an area or a site. Bsaw is doing it from the position of people like a good ghost story, and they're more likely to pay attention if you sell historical archaeology as a ghost hunt, as opposed to just, and here's a historical building that, X, Y, and Z. And here's a historical building that X, Y, Z. There's people who find that interesting. I am one of them. But you're even more interested when I tell you this historical building is haunted. And here is the story about the ghosts that may or may not be haunting this building. Ooh, and we're going to do it at night. Ooh, now you're even more interested, aren't you? That's why people go to that damn prison that's here in Pennsylvania, here in Philly. What is the name of that damn prison? But they're always going there to go do ghost hunts. Because reasons. What's there left to find there? Who knows? But they're going to go. And now it's a what is that name? Penhurst? Or no, that's the asylum, isn't it? Doesn't matter. They've turned the whole thing into like an actual haunted house attraction during the holiday season, during the Halloween season. So like whatever ghosts you're going to go haunt there, you're going to go find there. I don't know what the hell you're doing there anymore. Anyway, completely off topic. Back to this.
Sometimes Douglas is kind of based.
Logically, we must conclude that spirits can feel love, emotional pain, angst, frustration, disappointment, and a slew of other emotions that they experienced as humans. Widespread evidence supports this conclusion.
What evidence? What widespread evidence? See, I haven't gotten to this class yet, and we're not allowed to skip ahead. Though I'm about to test that theory. Maybe I just can't do the tests ahead of time. But I wonder if I can go look at the class material ahead, because it hasn't stopped me yet. So, that being said, what evidence?
Citation needed. Explains that while the first objective during a paranormal investigation of a haunted location is to help the people living there, you also need to help the people who are there who aren't living. But figuring out how to help them, that's a bit trickier if you're not Melinda Gordon. Naturally, the tough part is figuring out what they're after. Sometimes a good sensitive or medium can lend a hand, though you don't always need one. Sometimes you just need a little drive and elbow grease. It's like my mom used to say, there's more than one way to skin a cat and then commune with its spirit. Douglas gives an example of one investigation he completed where he helped a ghost find his way through the veil and into the light. Here's how it went.
Don't go into the light, Caroline.
With the assistance of a medium, Douglas discovered that the haunting he was investigating was a human spirit, a man named Ed. Turns out Ed wasn't some shadowy monster or demonic force. He was just a regular Joe named Ed who built the house back in the early 60s. A man with calloused hands and pride in his work, and maybe even a deep, dark secret or two. But maybe not. But times had changed. The place was a rental now, and the folks living there were not concerned with cleanliness. Douglas says that it was bad. Even calling it a pigsty would have been too kind. Ed...
Can you imagine being haunted by a ghost because you're dirty? The ghost is like, man, no. Go do the fucking dishes.
Was furious. His soul soaked in rage over what they'd done to the home he'd once built with love. Douglas sat with...
I mean, it makes sense. It would. I mean, if we're going to pretend like this is real, it would make sense. If you were Ed... and you built the house back in the 60s, which is entirely possible, and you built it out of love, and you continued to take care of the house, and then renters moved in who were just trashing the place. I mean, I could see how that might piss a guy off.
With him, cool and calm, told him he got it, understood the anger, respected it even. But the truth was hard. This wasn't Ed's world anymore. The clock had run out. Douglas asked if Ed had ever seen...
This is a man's world. Sorry.
A bright light. Ed said, yeah, we had electricity back in the 60s, but he'd also seen another light, but he didn't know what the hell it was. Douglas told him he needed to go into it. Ed hesitated. Fear can chain a man to anything, even death. So...
I mean, I suppose true, yeah. The fear and anticipation of something usually outweighs the actual event itself. Psychologically, that's been proven.
Douglas played his ace, told Ed to call out to his wife and kids. That's when the light shifted. Faces appeared, familiar, warm. His family was waiting for him. Ed's anger melted like snow covered in piss. Gratitude and...
There's a visual for you. Why would that be? First off, it was only the 60s, so why would Ed's kids be gone? I mean, maybe they were. Maybe that's why the house wasn't there. I mean, whatever. The point being, why are we assuming that Ed's kids are dead? It was only the 60s. Shit, my mother's still alive. She was born in 54. So I'm assuming Ed's kid's born somewhere after the 60s, since that's when he built the house. His kids are probably still alive. They're old, but not that old. Anyway, the point is, why would they hang around?
In his eyes, he stepped into the light and vanished into peace. The house went quiet after that. No bumps in the night, no whispers from the dark, just silence. No more complaints of ghosts going forward.
What happens if you're one of these people, though, and you go and you do your little exorcism and you get the ghost, you get Ed to go into the light. Big Ed goes into the light to go find his neck, and you're like, haha, problem solved. And you tell people that, the people living there, and you're like, yeah, your house isn't haunted anymore. And then you leave. And then said people are like, what? I'm still hearing the ghost haunting stuff. What happens then? Is that when you come back and you're like, it must have been a demon?
See, not a ghost hunt, more like a free posthumous therapy session. But that only works because this dead guy used to be an alive guy, was a human at heart. But what about the other things beyond us, the inhuman, the malevolent?
Inhuman spirits are believed to have never walked the earth as human beings. They are also referred to as angels, guardian angels, guiding angels, patron saints, and non-corporeal entities.
I mean, couldn't you have just said angels? Did you really need to break it down?
NCEs. The term that paranormal investigators use to describe evil spirits is malevolent inhuman spirits, MIS, also known as malicious, non-corporeal entities.
Now,
there's going to be a lot of alphabet soup when I get to this class, isn't there?
Douglas admits that whether these beliefs are true cannot be scientifically proven, which to me is debatable. But then goes on to say that empirical data suggests that while something is definitely happening, albeit rarely, it's more likely coming from humans than malevolent spirits.
So there's no evidence that this is true, but empirical evidence, which would imply evidence, says something is happening. Ergo, what?
But still, these little misses are often much harder to remove. He posits that's because it's not a home or object being haunted, but a person, possibly in order to feed off their energy like a vampire. But if it's a poltergeist, again, probably be on the lookout for a pubescent girl. Occam's razor,
Occam's razor,
Then, there's the shadow people, which many believe is literally anything you can't see clearly, even
to be fair,
at night, even when your eyes are closed. But
how do you see shadow people when your eyes are closed? That would imply you're not looking at anything. So that would imply that it's a hallucination, right? You're not looking. So if you see people when your eyes are closed.
Douglas says are the kinds of things you see out of the corner of your eye, but aren't there when you turn your gaze towards them.
Yeah, like trolls turning into rocks.
Or maybe you saw something, but it was just someone astral projecting. Maybe you were just standing outside in the middle of a sunny afternoon. So clearly, there's a lot to know.
I've never heard the astral projection one. I've never heard that one. That doesn't mean it can't be true. But the whole shadow people thing, that's the thing. It's also a symptom of various psychoses. So there's that. But I've never heard the explanation for I saw something out of the corner of my eyes. Oh, that was Johnny astral projecting from Glasgow. Put that reference together.
And in order to determine not only what type of haunting is happening, but if one is truly happening at all, you need to not only know the types of hauntings, but know how to perform a proper paranormal investigation using all of the tools available, including your brain.
Wow. Back in the day, you didn't have an EMF reader. You didn't have the little doodaddy Dougal thong thing, whatever. I don't know what they use these days. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've watched a ghost hunting video, except for the watcher videos where they've got this damn box thing that I guess is going through radio signals and occasionally lands on a word, and that's apparently the ghost talking to you. Don't understand that one.
Since my brain had been fried by Douglas over the last week, let's start with something less complicated. EMF meters. Those little beeping, flashing handheld devices you see in ghost hunting shows.
I want the stuff from Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters, not these newfangled movies. I want the original Ghostbuster doodads. Thank you.
They make a big display, good for impressing the locals, but what do they actually do?
The locals.
An electromagnetic field meter's sensor doesn't actually detect EMFs. It actually detects any changes in them and then converts how intense those fluctuations are into a number.
5.
And that number gives you a little beep. So
4. Damn it.
what does that have to do with ghosts? Well, nothing. These meters are really good at detecting electronics, though. So if you're looking for your phone charger in the dark, you might be helped by waving this around behind your bed. But what do paranormal investigators say it has to do with ghosts? They think spirits produce or affect EMFs, and the meter will respond to that.
This is true.
Douglas doesn't seem all that convinced of their use on their own to identify a haunting, but in conjunction with EVPs, that's a better indication that something is happening.
I used to run with a paranormal investigation ghost hunting group when I lived in Indiana. Good people. And they will also, they would also, I haven't talked to these people in, decades at this point. I found some pictures, my old pictures of us doing investigations and stuff. There was some kind of parade we were at too. I don't remember the parade, to be honest with you guys. I've got a lot of holes in my memory. Anyway, the point is I found the old pictures. This is back when my hair was like 2 different colors. It was really cute. Anyways, I was like, oh, I remember these guys. I don't remember this parade, but I remember. Anyway, point being, they would also say that, one piece of evidence, and they would not accept orbs, which I kind of appreciated because you get a lot of orbs. But they would not accept orbs unless there was something really weird about the orb. Because I remember there was like one orb that was okay, but that's because there was like a face inside the orb. So yeah, sure. I'm terrible at this game. They would show me evidence all the time. Look, it's like a full body apparition. And I'm like, yeah. To be fair though, I was the skeptic in the group. So my job was to be skeptical. That was my job. So it's not even that they got butthurt over the fact that I couldn't hear or see any of the stuff that they were talking about. That was my job, to be fair.
Just in case you were starting to think that something wasn't happening, something's happening.
Right.
EVPs, or electronic voice phenomena, are interesting exercises in human psychology, to say the least. Paranormal investigators will record audio during an investigation and then listen back to it after.
Right.
Any unexpected voices or sounds heard are considered EVP with various classifications.
Yeah, the EVPs, I'm not good at the EVP game either.
Douglas provided an example from his case files, which I won't play, but let's just say they were not what I'd call compelling.
Yeah.
The human brain seeks patterns. It wants to make sense of the input it's getting, always hunting for order in the noise, for faces in the dark. But for some people, belief plays a strong role in that as well. A person exhaling becomes a spirit whispering, "Help me." An HVAC letting out a burst of air is a demon hissing. A cat hissing is a former librarian asking everyone to keep it down.
So one of the houses we went to investigate, we were told that there was a cat, and it was a very talkative cat. We knew that going in as the ghost investigator. See, I told you I used to run with a group. Anyway, went to go investigate this house. It was just a local private home. The people wanted us to come investigate because they thought they had, paranormal activity. So they left. The family left. They went to go stay the night at a hotel while complete strangers are wandering around their house. But there was a cat, and they couldn't take the cat with them. And it was a very vocal cat. But the cat... So all of our recordings, anyway, the cat wouldn't come to any of us. It pretty much hid in the basement. But we have recording of the cat, talking. And the cat, the way it would meow, it sounded like the cat was going, "Hello, hello." So from that investigation forward, we just had this running joke about, you couldn't hear something, or, somebody was hiding or whatever. He was, every now and then one of us would just go, "Hello, hello," making fun of the cat. Because it was all over the fucking the recordings. Never saw the damn thing. You could have said the cat was a ghost, except we knew it was supposed to be there. Bless that cat.
A person in another room quietly saying the word "believe" is now a demon instructing the investigators to leave. And the ways that they go about getting these recordings is often incredibly suspect from the get-go. The worst kind of pseudoscience. The kind that doesn't even bother hiding the con. The kind that's all pseudo and no science. Take parabolic microphones, for example. This is the kind of gear gumshoes and feds keep tucked away in their arsenals.
To be fair, parabolic, this is the thing this was the problem I always had, right? And you can be nice about these things. And I do remember, where were we living? Was this post? I think we were living somewhere else, and I went to a library presentation by a different ghost hunting group. And they, of course, they were presenting their scientific equipment for that they would use to record their investigations and to get scientific evidence, right? And I asked them, what's your hypothesis when you go into these things? And they were all like, oh yeah, we're using the scientific method. And I'm like, okay, but so what's your hypothesis when you go into these things during the Q&A section? I should have just not said anything. And they look at me and they're like, "Our what?" I'm like, "Your hypothesis. You keep saying you're using the scientific method, so that implies that you have a hypothesis when you go into these situations. So what is your working hypothesis when you go into these investigations? And what is the equipment helping you collect towards your towards your hypothesis? Because yes, these are all devices, and yes, these are all equipment, and yes, they all collect data, but it doesn't mean anything unless there's an application for it."
They don't just pick up whispers across the room, they catch words tossed into the wind from blocks away.
Parabolic microphones are used by some researchers who report far better EVPs as a result.
No shit. You're picking up people talking from like 6 blocks away.
These mics seem to pull the very faint Class C EVPs out of the noise.
The trouble was plain enough. Those mics were built to catch voices from a distance, and that's exactly what they did. So when a voice came through and you couldn't place where it came from, it wasn't mystery, it was design. The whole point of the thing was to pick up what you couldn't hear on your own. Nothing spooky about it.
I can't hear a ghost on my own, except when I can. I don't think a lot of people really understand how the devices are supposed to work, like the parabolic mic. Like, most people may not understand that, like, the point is that it's a long range listening device. So like, I can sit here in my apartment and point it at my neighbor's house, which is, I don't know, a good football and a half field away from me. And I can theoretically hear what they're saying in their backyard. Maybe even possibly in the house. I don't know. I don't have a parabolic mic, but I'm going to hear everything else in the process.
Just the machine doing what it was made to do. Sometimes the intelligent haunting is just the intelligent design of a microphone.
Don't you dare bring intelligence design into this. God damn it.
It's a lot like putting bread in a toaster, and then the second it pops saying, "Holy shit, did you see that? It moved. Nobody was touching it. At least, nobody living." And the bread...
Amityville! Oh, dude, the Amityville toaster. 16 years ago. July 21st, 2009.
Look what I got from that internet auction site.
What is... Okay, I'm gonna turn... Let's slow it down. Slow it down. Let's watch this. No, it is at normal. Okay, anyway.
Is it? It's a toaster from that haunted house in Amityville. Amityville!
You bought a haunted toaster?
Watch, this is cool. You put in regular old white bread and...
Wheat toast? How did you end up with wheat toast?
No one knows. What's even cooler is when you put in wheat bread, you get pumpernickel. And when you put in pumpernickel, you get a blueberry muffin.
Bullshit.
Oh yeah? Fine. It just so happens I have some pumpernickel bread right here.
Just so happens I have pumpernickel bread right here.
Whoa. Oh,
See? Blueberry muffin.
that's freaky. What happens if you put a bagel in there?
Good question.
That's a lot of time later. You get raw steak, apparently.
Is that a pork chop?
Oh man, what a chip. I was hoping it would be one of those toasty cakes.
Ooh, try waffles.
The auction description said not to use waffles.
Why?
I don't know. Something about getting back a toasted human hand or something. I'll fuck around with it.
Don't fuck around with it.
Whoa, it's a toasted hand.
What did I say about using waffles?
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. Foamy the squirrel. I forget about you. God bless. good stuff. I'll try to remember to link that down below too. Anyway, back to this. Back to this.
Ghost toast.
Ghost
Worse
toast.
than parabolic mics, though, is what people call spirit boxes.
Yeah,
These are
the spirit box thing is what they use on that show I used to watch on Watcher with the two guys who go investigate haunted locations. That narrowed it down.
up radios that quickly cycle through AM stations, spitting out random words from random stations. Then you just assume that whatever you're hearing is a ghost and not like a collection of random words from random radio stations. The meaning you find in them is completely internal, subjective, and unfalsifiable.
Okay, so there's Shane. What's the other guy's name? God, it's been so long since I watched one of those. Holy crap, I'm terrible. I used to be a huge fan. I still am. I just haven't watched them in forever. Anyway, Shane was the skeptic, and he hated the spirit box. Like, fucking hated the spirit box. And I can't blame him because, like, it's really noisy on top of everything else. So it's like, it's very overwhelming. It's very noisy. And then you have to listen for the random words that it's going to spit out. It's unpleasant.
It's like asking ChatGPT to pump out 7 random words. Let's say, want out girl box dog stairs tree.
Okay, cool. By the way, my neighbor has a new dog. Now that we've mentioned it.
And then divining that you're being visited by the trapped spirit of a dead girl who is buried under the stairs nearby, killed while out looking for her lost dog in the woods. And she's asking you to find her body and free her. The meaning's not in the box, it's in you. And isn't
It's in you.
that beautiful? The answers you were looking for have been inside of you this whole time.
Wah, wah. Coffee.
You're the one pulling ghosts out of the static, building stories from scraps. It's not the dead talking. It's your own need to hear them. Want out girl box dog stairs tree. It all makes sense. It's
What if it's a dogwood tree? What if there's a girl that wants out because she wants to go see the dogwood tree?
like my friend Geraldine Blank used to say. Think about it. I haven't.
I don't know these jokes. I'm sorry. The delivery makes them funny, though.
When I signed up for this program, I signed up to do my Certified EVP Technician course. And honestly, I wish I hadn't. I'm not built to hear voices in the low hum of a fridge or spirits in the footsteps of the people in the apartment above mine. Partially because after a run-in with a couple angry men and their angrier kicks to my head, my hearing, not what she used to be.
That is such a sad story, and he delivers it so fast that you're just kind of like, oh, all right. Well then.
I struggle to hear people in the same room as me talking sometimes, so
That's just like, you said a lot in like less than 10 seconds there. And we need to unpack some of that. That needs to be unpacked a little bit. Just, saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it impacts your ability to hear random noise in static or people standing next to you. Jesus Christ.
oh, the dead, they're not getting through to me that way. I'm much more likely to be able to at least see what the paranormal investigators are talking about when it comes to claims about seeing spirits or cryptids in film or on video. Which is why, during this course, I've been lurking on the Paranormal Encounters forum on an obscure internet site called Reddit. Here, people post photos and videos of encounters captured on camera. Sometimes they ask the group if it's the ghost who's the asshole or if they are. For instance, this photo here, which many on the forum thought was proof of a ghost. Where's the ghost? Well, it's the woman sitting in the room with them. According to the person who posted this photo, it was from 10 years ago, and his grandmother didn't remember that woman being there at all, and his grandmother had an impeccable memory for a 98-year-old woman who grew up breathing in asbestos and sucking on lead paint chips.
Probably some of the most compelling evidence this has produced.
Or it's a woman sitting in a room, and Buddy's Meemaw doesn't remember it. Do you remember every background character in your photos?
I actually got chills from this. The spectre is very...
To be fair.
Probably some of the most compelling evidence this has produced.
Or
Okay.
it's a woman sitting in a room, and Buddy's Meemaw doesn't remember it. Do you remember every background character in your photos?
I actually got chills from this. The spectre is very creepy. Knowing that the land was a Native American tribe's burial ground and that the spirit looked like an elderly female Native American.
It does? It does? I don't think so. That looks like a Native American woman to you? I'm blocking my ring light. It does? What do you think Native American people look like? It actually kind of looks like a double exposure of this woman, but I mean, maybe I'm crazy. Pareidolia! I was told not to say that, though. Anyway.
Rose?
I actually got chills from this. The spectre is very creepy, knowing that the land was a Native American tribe's burial ground and that the spirit looked like an elderly female Native American.
Okay.
Same. I get chills. My eyes start to water and my eyes tear up. This is how I subjectively determine if something creepy is real.
Screaming.
I subjectively determine that something is real by if my eyes start to water. They make eye drops for that.
Crying and throwing up because there was a woman sitting behind a couch who you assume is an indigenous woman.
One of the scariest, creepiest paranormal photos I've seen.
This is classic paranormal activity. Definitely one of the best posts I've seen.
So, just wondering if this is a doppelganger or a mimic. Have you heard voices or whistles in your house?
Here we go. Might just be me, but the background woman kind of looks a lot like the foreground woman, but a little bit off. What did I say? What did I say? So just wondering if this is a doppelganger or a mimic. Have you heard voices or whistles in your house? I have a lot to learn. I can't wait for this class.
House.
This post circulated for 2 weeks, with people posting more and more enhanced versions of it until they were all shitting their pants, unable to sleep because they were so freaked out about how this guy had proof of the paranormal because he saw this spirit.
It didn't look like that.
Oh, he did? That's unbelievable. Almost as unbelievable as the plasma entity caught on camera and posted in the UFO subreddit. Why aren't more people talking about this?
Same anomalies Skywatchers have been discussing have been filmed for years. It seems that now, because the talking heads have given the go-ahead to believe, people are finally starting to accept this reality.
Yeah, talking heads. Wait a minute.
It's very telling that this is what it takes, and honestly, it's kind of embarrassing.
Okay.
I hope this new information encourages people to check themselves and take the time to dig deeper before dismissing something outright.
I'm still gonna call it bullshit. To be fair, UFO just means unidentified flying object. I started rewatching the X-Files. It's been a minute, okay? It's been a minute since I've seen the X-Files, and I started rewatching the X-Files because I could. And I'm on episode 2 of the first season, and I didn't realize how fast this show moved, but the second episode of the first season, they're already investigating UFOs at the army bases. So anyway, spoilers. I know, this show's like 30 years old. Too late. Anyway, the point is, even Mulder says UFO just means unidentified flying object. It doesn't necessarily mean aliens.
That's a Mylar balloon, you stupid donkey. You can see the string. Once again, the lick principle in action. They're licking that balloon clean.
Once you realize JFK was not killed by Oswald, he was
Okay, keep going.
incapable of those shots with bad sights in that time frame at that angle, and if he was, the FBI sharpshooters are arranged 10 times to do it, then you realize we are lied to about other issues.
Like the fact that every major U.S. war was started with a pulled chair or a false flag, starting with the Boston Tea Party. What? Hang on. You don't get to do this to me. We're reading the whole paragraph. Once you realize that JFK was not offed by Oswald, he wasn't capable of those shots, and with bad sights in that time frame, you mean the amount of time it took him to take the shots or the literal year? Anyway, at that angle, and if he was, the FBI sharpshooters on a range with no adrenaline would have duplicated the feat without fixing the gun and eventually blowing the target up to 10 times to do it. What? What? Then you will realize that we are lied to about other issues, like the fact that every U.S. war was started with a pulled chair. World War II? What is a pulled chair? I know what a false flag is, but what is World War II? And how is the Boston Tea Party a false flag? Okay. We have been lied to about a very long list of facts, including everything, quote, paranormal. Whatever's behind the curtain of the truth of the UFOs is a, quote, great big effing deal. Those aren't quotes. Those are asterisks. Big effing deal, end asterisks. Afterlife has been documented countless times. There's a undercut VA department dedicated to its study. I have digital evidence too, as well as a couple of very eerie experiences. Well, I'd like to see your evidence. Your eerie experiences, there's an organized disinformation effort re-UFOs, just as there was with JFK's assassination. UFOs are supposedly connected to psychic abilities and the afterlife. What? There's more past this point. There's a non-zero chance that disinformation bots slash sock puppet accounts slash FSB, former...
Like the fact that every major U.S. war was started with the Tea Party. We've been lied.
Yep, that's what I thought. Former KGB slash CIA, etc. are in this forum and deliberately dismiss anyone's experiences. Damn those FSB, former KGB, CIA agents. You've been playing too much Call of Duty, my man. Way too much. The KGB and the CIA don't get along. Just throwing it out there. Are you implying that the CIA and the FSB are buddies? And what about MI6? You left them out. Is it just... So only the Soviets, former Soviets, only the Russians and the US are invested in this disinformation bot sock puppets accounts? What? Britain doesn't care? Britain's like, yeah, bring the aliens. Bring them on. Bring me the UFOs. So I don't want to know, because somebody's going to try to explain this in my comment section, but what do you think happened to JFK? Do you know, morbid fact, do you know that if you go to, what is it, Dallas? Yeah, if you go to, I think it was Dallas, where the assassination occurred, they've literally marked the spot on the cement. I'm not shitting you. I've seen this with my own two eyes. They've marked the spot on the road where I'm sorry, it's funny because it's so fucking morbid, where his brain hit. I'm like, why would you do that? But yeah, when I was there a long time ago, it's there. It's not only marked in like permanent paint, it's labeled. Why? Why would you do that? Why? Anyway, completely unrelated to anything we're talking about. Let's get back to this. Things I've seen with my own two eyes.
To about a very long list of facts, including everything the truth of UFOs is a great big effing deal. Afterlife has been documented countless times.
Oh, dear God, the giants of Afghanistan. Oh, yes.
Very eerie experiences. There's an organized disinformation effort re-UFOs, just as there was with JFK's assassination, to psychic abilities and the afterlife.
If you watch the Giants of Afghanistan episode of Wartime Stories on YouTube free, then read about the cave giants in New Mexico, okay, and then ask why the Smithsonian borrowed the bones from a local native museum there, then immediately lost them, you can connect some dots. I twitch. Wow, do we need to talk about giants? Do we need to talk about giants? I don't know who needs to hear this. And if you want to get in my comments and argue with me, giants aren't real. They never were. The Smithsonian does not have boxes of giant bones. Even if they did, those would be Native American. NAGPRA requires them to return them. So unless for some strange reason the former SFB and the CIA have some strange reason to prevent us from knowing about giants, which would, why? Why? Anyway. The logic.
/CIA, etc. are in this forum to deliberately dismiss anyone's experiences.
People convinced that they are experiencing the paranormal often reject entirely mundane explanations for the phenomena that, if ignored, can lead to serious harm. For instance, someone says their house is haunted.
See if I can do this without triggering everything. So going back to all of this, taking the humor out of it, because wow, so many flashbacks. But anyway, going back to this kind of disinformation and like the mental gymnastics that are required for these types of conspiracy theories. The problem with this kind of stuff, because haha, funny giants, yeah, ha, aliens, haha, yeah, sure. Again, coming back to Dr. Card. The thing is a lot of the people that believe in this kind of stuff, run the government now. But you get this concept of these conspiracies and these false flags, and then the next thing you know, you've got somebody going in and shooting up a pizza joint because some idiot on the radio told him that was a child trading ring, right? You get people who, again, I think it's the same idiot on the radio who's telling people that things like not Columbine, the school pews are false flags. Because why? Why would I want that as a false flag? Why would I come up with that horror story as a false flag? Right? You get these people who are in positions of power, who have positions of influence, and then they influence people to do things that are actually horrific. And sometimes, a lot of times, there's no repercussion to the people spewing the bullshit. Right. And then you get guys, I assume, like this individual in the forum that Dr. Conrad was giving us snippets from, who are like, JFK wasn't actually assassinated by whatever the fuck his name was because reasons. Okay, funny. Ha ha ha. You don't believe in JFK's assassination, whatever. But then what else does this person also not believe, right? And this person, what extremes is this individual willing to go to reinforce those beliefs, right? That's where the danger starts coming in and when it stops being funny. And you have people who believe in aliens and that kind of stuff who have strong positions of influence in, the U.S. government, and I'm sure other places as well, but it's a problem here in the U.S. where I live. And they make policy. They make laws. They make life hell for other people because of these weird beliefs that they have. And the tip of the iceberg of those beliefs that you see are these beliefs that aliens built the pyramids. Why? Because I don't know how they were built. Yeah, but we know how they were built. We have literal documentation. Yeah, but aliens. That doesn't work for me. And so that's why you have people who are, passionate about confronting that, why people are passionate about debunking and being skeptical about those types of claims, because there is harm that can be had. Ancient Aliens, the television show, there's a lot of political rhetoric, especially in the later seasons, that occur within Ancient Aliens, the TV show, right? I I can't remember if it gets too deep into it in the first season. And maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe we'll start looking at Ancient Aliens all the way back in the day. Because I think the first season was only like 6 or 8 episodes. It was like a brief test run. Anyway, they're on the like season 12 or 13 or something absolutely fucking ridiculous. There are people who are alive today who have never known life without Ancient Aliens, the television show. Consider that. Anyway, but yeah, that's the thing. But there are people who believe that these things are true and that there are these massive conspiracy. Yeah, it's a conspiracy, right? To keep the American people from knowing about giants. Why? What difference does it make? Or aliens. Why? If there have always been aliens, knowing about them changes nothing. Because if they've always been here, their influence has always been in place. Ergo, learning about them changes nothing. So what's the conspiracy? Also, you want me to believe that every major government in the world is working together to keep aliens a secret? They can't even keep global policy. You want me to believe that they're all like, you know what? We can't agree on peace or war or how to distribute wealth and food across the world so that people aren't starving or poor, even though we have the ability to do that. We can't agree on that. But aliens, that's a line too far. Really? Have you seen the UN? Anyway, my point is, but you have people, especially here in the US, who have access to positions of power, to the government, to the presidency. We live in that timeline. Who believe this shit, right? And these are the people who are making policy. These are the people who are making laws. These are the people who are signing bills into action. Pointing it out to you. Next time you think it's funny. It is. It's funny that people would believe these kind of things. But I need you to internalize the fact that these people run your government. You have voted for these people. They're there now. They're not going anywhere. They're making policy that's going to affect you for generations. So yeah, it's funny. But also, it's going to screw you over if you don't do something about it now. Anyway, that's enough doomsday for everyone. Go on.
That every time they cross the threshold, the air turns heavy. They're filled with dread, feeling a pressure on their chest, headaches, waves of nausea.
I forget what we were talking about, and I'm not backing it up.
And dizziness. They're absolutely convinced they have a malevolent spirit attacking them.
Yes.
But odds are, it's not some cursed entity. It's carbon monoxide, slowly killing them, silent and unseen.
Oh my God. When I was a kid, we had a carbon monoxide leak in our house. And when we finally had the guy, because we were all sick, we were like, why are we all sick? We lived in an A-frame. Maybe that's how we didn't die. Anyway, the point is we had this massive carbon monoxide leak, and we finally had somebody come out to look at the heater because I think the heat just wasn't working. It wasn't because we were sick. We weren't like, oh, maybe we're sick because. No, but something else was wrong. We had the dude come out, look at the heater, and like he came back upstairs from the basement and he just had like this look on his face. And he's just like, I don't know how you people are alive, because that's how bad the leak was. So, fun time. I almost wasn't here.
Real horror is the kind you can't see and don't want to believe in. Not the kind that you can't see but want to believe beyond any shred of rationality. Try telling them that, though. You'll be painted as the cold realist, the skeptic buzzkill at the seance. Just another flatfoot with a flashlight trampling over their mystery. To them, you're not helping. You're calling them liars.
And that is the problem. You are, when you do confront people, the majority of people, you're confronting their personal beliefs. And when you confront people's personal belief systems, you're attacking the individual, whether you mean to or not. And so that's why you get a lot of hostile reactions to people. And, think about, you go up and tell somebody who's a true believer in a religion that, hey, God doesn't exist. They're going to react negatively, right? It's pretty much the same thing with aliens.
belittling, mocking. So why say anything at all if all you bring is doubt? Or they're hearing voices, a dark force telling them to hurt someone, and it's absolutely terrifying to them. They don't want to hurt anyone, but every time their mother is in the room, the entity whispers for them to pick up the knife and stab her over and over again.
Okie-dokie.
But if you suggest that maybe...
Am I going to get hit for that one?
they need to go speak to someone immediately about this, a doctor, not an exorcist, you get blowback, saying you're calling them crazy or attacking them. There's no room for disagreement, and all actual help is seen as not only an assault on them, but on their entire perception of reality.
Yes, that is true.
And the other people in the forums do nothing but push people deeper into whatever harmful belief is preventing them from actually finding real help. It's not just ridiculous, it's objectively dangerous.
And then there's this.
But they don't want to listen to skeptics or debunkers or people who prioritize the most likely explanation. They want to lick it like a lollipop they just found on the street. But maybe...
street candy.
They'll listen to me, Cayln Conrad, certified paranormal investigator, which I'm about to be, as I've just submitted my exam. Once again, I answered the questions as I imagined Douglas would want me to, mostly because I'd fail if I didn't. But the EVP questions were much too difficult. I had no idea what I was supposed to be hearing, and I finished the exam with my lowest score yet. I didn't know there would be ear training as part of a ghost course, but I still passed, which means I just finished everything I needed, finally, to get my master's degree. Didn't take long before Douglas sent it through. I made it onto the honor roll with cum laude. Classic Cayln. It got pinned up faster than Christ on Easter Friday, a testament to the years of hard work I poured into the last week. I began feeling inspired because, as far as I could tell, the worst was over. Tomorrow was the big one, the final act, dissertation day, D-Day. A second wind blew in, even though no window was open, and something in me kicked back to life. Eager to put everything I learned into practice, I quickly did my psychic meditation, packed up everything a good paranormal investigator might need, and then I hit the road, heading to the...
I love that there's a steak involved.
...only place where the dead outnumber the living.
Is it an ash steak? Did you get it from an ash tree? Because it's an ash steak. That kills vampires. Sorry. Anyway.
And now we're back where we started, with me creeping around in a cemetery like I'm some corpse paparazzi with my camera, my EMF meter, and a little something for protection that I prepared earlier, Mr. Pointy. I didn't think I'd run into a vampire, but you'd be surprised how many things a stake to the ticker could kill.
Oh, Buffy quote.
So I hear. I haven't tried it in practice just yet. I waited for ghosts to walk or float by, or at least...
Where is he? There's this cool, this cool house over here, building structure, whatever. This is a cool cemetery. Where are you at, man? I want to go. I want to go to the cemetery. This is a cool cemetery.
Just be standing there, but the place stayed quiet. Too quiet. Just the kind of silence that presses against your ears until you're begging for a sound. So I...
What cemetery are you in? This is a pretty cemetery. I really like it.
I started moving, slow and steady, letting the meter sing its song. A few beeps here, a couple of polite chirps there, but nothing worth writing home about. I considered singing to the ghost like this girl Poot Lovato did, but...
Poot Lovato. That video that they are referencing right now is easily one of the most cringe-worthy videos I've ever watched in my life, and I'm sorry I've ever watched it.
I wasn't trying to scare him off. The folks on those forums, they talk like cemeteries are supernatural hotspots. Like you walk in and Casper is waiting to give you a high five. Never made much sense to me. Why would a soul stick around some plotted dirt they never cared about when they were breathing? A place they likely never even visited when they were living? Why not linger in the place where they laughed, cried, fought, lived? Why not a gravestone instead of the kitchen they baked in, or the bed they shared with their lover? None of it added up, but I kept walking, just in case the dead felt like talking.
So poetic.
It was a couple hours in when it hit me. I was, without a doubt, the only one haunting this graveyard. And once it started to rain, I decided that it was high time I went into the light. At home, I decided to treat myself, and I made a light snack. And of course, I gave the goose his due, same as always, death and taxes. I decided that giving up on today so I could start early tomorrow for my final day is precisely what I needed. The fastest path to my PhD and out of this K-hole I dug for myself. Sounded good in theory, but so did a lot of things Douglas said.
Your kitten sleeping with him is so cute. We love Goose.
But the silence was thick, too thick. All day, I'd kept the voice in my head busy with noise and
You can't move your elbow because the cat's using it as a pillow, and I've been there, so I understand. You got to sleep in this weird, awkward position because the cat is comfortable. That's the important part.
Nonsense. Now, stretched out in the dark, there was nothing left to drown it out. It whispered the same thing it always did. Something's off. Something's missing. You're missing something. If I had any hope of sleeping, I needed a distraction. Something familiar. So I reached for the dial. The radio crackled to life. I would have one last night with Douglas. For old time's sake.
These are real. These are real. That is the real intro to these fucking videos, these fucking audio clips. They're real. Those aren't the words.
Welcome back to the Metaphysical Human Radio Show with your hosts, Dr. Doug and Dr. Victoria. Today, we're discussing the clairs. What are they? And are you one?
That's exciting, Douglas. I'm actually 4 different clairs. And I'm going to get into every single one of them on this episode. But first, I wanted to go...
So that's the end of the episode. Well, that's the end of that day. I am looking forward to my classes. They just sound more fun than what I'm going through. It's a bit of a slog. I'm not going to lie. It's a little bit of a metaphysical slog, if one will. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We've had a lot of time talking. If you've made it this far in the video, go ahead and put a ghost down in the comment section for obvious reasons. But also, like, I know we went over a lot. I know we went over a lot. Some of it, I'm sure a few of you will have problems with. Feel free to leave comments as long as you're polite. But I mean, the chances are I'm probably going to disagree with you. So ahead of time, just, letting you know. There's that. So I am looking forward to these classes when I get there, but I'm a long ways off because these, according to my schedule, I don't know what their schedule looked like, but my schedule has 19 classes. So I have like 10 more classes than what Dr. Conrad took. So mine are all at the bottom. All the fun classes are at the bottom because they know better. They know better. They know if they let you do these in the order that you want to do them in, you're going to go do the fun classes first and then all the boring shit last. So that they top loaded it for you. And you have to do them in order according to my letter, my acceptance letter. So anyway, we're playing by the rules here. The podcast thing, though, that's real. They have a Wednesday night class that I continuously miss because I completely forget it's there because I haven't put it on my schedule. Why would I do that? That would be crazy talk. Why schedule that? But they do have a live broadcast that they do every Wednesday night. I forget what the time is, obviously. And the intro to those is it's identical to what you just heard, only there's different words. But it's a lot of fun, I guess, because you do have to listen to a couple of them for the various classes, because that's how Dr. K lectures us sometimes, is through those as lectures. Not like lecture. I mean, like a lecture, like you listen to a college lecture. Anyway, the point is, it's just funny to hear that because that's what it sounds like. Only they balance it so it bounces back and forth in your ears, and it's very unsettling the first couple times. Anyhow, I pretty much said everything I wanted to say while we were going over it. I think I think Dr. Conrad said that this was the last class for the master's degree, and now they're going to do their dissertation for the actual PhD. The really funny part is like Conrad was talking about how they submitted their final for their class. The finals are optional. You don't have to do them. So if you've already, the reason why he, Dr. K, wants you to do them is so that you can improve your class score. And there has been one question on every goddamn test that has prevented me from getting a perfect score. One question but there's no, what are they called? Trick questions. But so anyway, that's made it difficult for me to get a perfect score. So that's why I've been doing the finals so that I could, well, A, I want to get summa cum laude, and B, I want my score to be as high as humanly possible in these classes. So I've been doing those to raise my class grade. But this last class, I got 100 on all of the quizzes. So I didn't theoretically have to do the final because it's not going to give me anything, right? It's not going to boost my score, but I'm doing it anyway because I'm like, I really want summa cum laude. So anyway, so I'm trying to get the highest score possible, but it just cracks me up that the final is optional on all of these classes, which I'm like, so is the dissertation going to be optional? I don't know. I haven't gotten there yet. But anyway, they're just essay questions. You just fill out essay questions, and I don't know, if you're trying to do a good job, they take a minute to do. And Dr. K scores them himself. So there are little comments on them later on if you go back and recheck your scores. It's a little convoluted to get to them, but there are comments. And he's had nothing but nice things to say about my answers because they're wonderful answers and I'm a good student. So there you go. Anyway, like I said, your emoji is going to be a ghost. I said everything I was going to say. My headset died in the middle of this, so that was kind of fun. And I can't really think of anything else. So if you guys are enjoying these, let me know in the comment section down below. Once again, thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You guys rock. Thank you to everybody who supported the GoFundMe that has allowed us to do all of this. And I will see everybody either in the next video or hopefully when we have the graduation party, which I'm still not 100% sure how we're going to do it, but it's going to be a live. I don't know exactly. I think we're going to do some kind of video, some kind of unrelated video, and that we're going to like apply our critical thinking skills to. So that should be fun. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure exactly how we're doing that yet, because I'm sure whatever it is going to get copyright hit. So that's going to be fun. But anyway, again, see everybody in the next video. Don't forget your emoji is a ghost. And that's really all I've got for you guys. So I will see everybody next time. Bye. You know we got a mystery to solve, so Tiny Blue, get ready to react. Don't hold back. 'Cause Tiny Blue, when you come through, we're gonna have ourselves some answers back. We can count on you. Tiny Blue, be sure to like and subscribe now.